me shut this off. This is part 2 of Balsam Fir and the moose. Right here is a spruce tree. There's a fir tree. And then over here is a fir tree. And again, the bottom 8 to 10 feet is chewed right off. As you can see in the clip I just showed, a spruce tree, no damage, a couple of little fir trees, and then that tall fir tree that's chewed right down to nothing on the bottom 8 or 10 feet. In my part of the world, the moose is choosing to eat the fir. In the previous video, I said that a moose doesn't eat spruce. Well, in northern Maine, in my part of the world with lots of fir trees, he certainly seems to choose the fir over the spruce, and I see no evidence where, given the choice to eat a fir tree, he won't eat a spruce tree, he'll eat the fir. In parts of the world with large spruce forests, and that's what's available to the moose, well, that's what he's going to eat. So just to clear that up, because it was wrong in the last video to just blanket say moose don't eat spruce. They don't really seem to eat spruce here. But the reason I wanted to do a part 2 on the moose and the fir tree is to do with the winter tick. And one of the largest causes of mortality, maybe only surpassed by moose hunting season, is the winter tick. Now, this time of year, over the past several weeks and into October, the winter tick is looking for moose to crawl onto to spend the winter. And in bad years, moose can have tens of thousands of winter ticks, even 50,000 or more. And, a lot of times in a bad year, the winter tick will kill off almost all of the calves of the year. And so when you've got tens of thousands of ticks sucking your blood all winter, you become anemic and just not able to cope with other stressors. So the reason that I mentioned the winter tick in this video is that the balsam fir has a substance in it that kills ticks. There's a lady scientist over in Nova Scotia. I can't remember what her name is, but she's credited with discovering that the balsam fir has a poison to ticks by noticing that the ticks that fell off moose in the spring underneath of the balsam fir forest on our property, the survival rate of those ticks was far less than the survival rate of ticks that dropped onto a more hospitable environment. And so with ongoing research, it's been discovered that the balsam fir is poisonous to the tick. Now, interestingly, in my part of the world, the moose eats fir. It's an important winter food source, more so than summer. So the moose spends time eating balsam fir and therefore is around balsam fir throughout the winter. And presumably, if it's around a lot of balsam fir in the spring, a lot of the ticks are falling underneath the balsam firs, which, may help to control the winter tick population to some degree. It's certainly not a panacea because, the winter tick is still a significant problem to the moose. But it is interesting, and if you notice, a lot of these balsam firs that are browsed on, they have still a little bit of growth at the bottom, and I can just envision a moose with a tick load becoming itchy with it and the moose rubbing up against these balsam firs, and so some topical application of balsam fir needles and oils. So that's interesting. Take it for what it is. Just while talking about the winter tick, the other issue that helps to control winter tick population is the severity of the winter, particularly the severity of the winter as it relates to deep snowpack and snowpack late in the spring. In around March and April, when the winter tick starts falling off the moose, if it lands on bare ground with a good environment, it's going to thrive, and next fall's winter tick population is going to be plenty high. Well, if the winter tick falls off of the moose onto snowpack, a lot of the ticks, and maybe all of the ticks that fall off that moose onto that location, will die. So the late snowpack helps to control the winter tick, and year over year, if you consistently have deep snowpack and late in the year, the following falls, the tick load is going to be less and less and less. That's why the further north you go and the further west you go, the higher the population of moose, because typically deeper snow, later snow. So yeah, that's all very interesting. I just wanted to share that little piece of information I found out about the balsam fir and the moose. I had just done a little bit of reading because I had recalled I said that moose don't eat spruce. And, well, they don't eat spruce here. Apparently, it can be an important food source in some locations. Consider subscribing to the channel. We'll have more content in the future. Bye-bye.